Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about specifically, we're going to talk about Professor Dungeon Master's top 20 most popular tabletop role-playing games of 2020 list. And today we're going to talk about rank 14. Number 14 most popular game is Marvel Multiverse. And this is created by Matt Forbeck. It has a singular creator. There's a team behind it, but he was the main driving force. His name is literally on the cover. And man, did he knock it out of the park. And this game won 14th place by having 65 public events at Gen Con. Okay, that's a lot, right? So that's a lot of tables. So what is my experience with Marvel Multiverse role-playing game? Oh my gosh, I fell in love with this the minute it came out. I literally own 3 copies of the core rulebook. I have the Cataclysm of Kang hardback, and I have the X-Men expansion hardback, and I have run no less than 3 campaigns with this system, and I've played in 2 campaigns using this system, it's really fantastic. And you can find those right here on my channel. And this thing is an absolute banger. The reason why is Matt Forbeck actually is a Gary Gygax disciple. He literally edited Gary Gygax's material, worked with him directly, and came away, and a lot of what makes Dungeons and Dragons amazing and transformative and powerful is sitting right there in this game. It is phenomenal. I was so impressed with this, and it's amazing because it fixes so many Dungeons and Dragons problems, but it's a completely unique system. So it's a 616 dice system. You roll 3d6, and one of the dice. 2 of the dice are the same color, and one of them is an offset color. And you can critical very easily. You critical on 6s, and then on the Marvel die, you also critical on a 1 as well. So, and you could have a super critical, which is a 666 all the way across. No, actually, I'm sorry, it's a 616, right? So it crits very easily. And then in addition to that, it has an uber crit, a crit over a crit. It's such an amazing system. The other thing that's really amazing about this system is how it really adds to the Marvel multiverse, right? So the reality is, who understands an intellectual property? You would think it would be the writers, and often the writers do, or the editors do, but you don't really even know your intellectual property until you have a TTRPG team tear it apart and build it from the ground up into a viable narratively structured, a world structured to explore narrative and identity. And that's exactly what Matt Forbeck did with Marvel Multiverse. And I own the DK the DK Marvel book, which lists all the heroes and villains, and it is phenomenal, right? But the Marvel Multiverse is better understood, more detailed, and better broken down for the purposes of narrative and identity with Marvel Multiverse RPG than anything any movie's ever done, or even the comics have done. It is incredible. This is truly one of the best tabletop role-playing games you could buy today. And I'll say right now, if you are a serious tabletop role-playing dungeon master or player, you have to own the core rulebook of this. You have to get it immediately and read it, because honestly, I think there are probably maybe less than 5. This is top 5 TTRPGs that have been written since that fateful day on February 7th, 1974, when Gary Gygax introduced Dungeons and Dragons to the world. It's profoundly excellent. The other thing that's interesting is, if you don't know, there are communities who debate literally. So there are literally hundreds at this point, hundreds of character sheets for for the majority of the major players in the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, there's probably 200 or 300 constructed character sheets that were officially constructed by Marvel Multiverse. Also, by the way, this book is officially released under by Disney, by Marvel, but Marvel is owned by Disney. So this is a Disney tabletop role-playing game, which I think it's just so fascinating. I absolutely love this game. But there's this community of people like who debate every jot and tittle on every player character sheet. And they're like, oh no, Thor isn't rank 5, he should be rank 6. And this is the power number, the power value that this character's flight should have, and and they debate every single item. And so that it's so compelling that I know people who get the books, read it, and then just judge like the people who wrote it and don't even play it, right? Like, it is really fascinating. I've never seen anything like this. The quality on this thing is so high. The other thing is, just so you're aware, one of the things I did when I ran this was I ran a mixed DC world and a Marvel world. And you're like, well, how could you do that? They haven't created any of the characters, right? But the game does tell you how to create characters of your own. But I converted multiple DC characters into this system, right? And actually with the help of another person. And if you go to my my Reddit, if you go to in the link below, you'll get to my link tree, and that'll take you to my Reddit, and you'll see all the DC characters I built right there. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.